I was 33, I had a fiance, I had a career, I had future, we planned kids, all those sorts of things, and in literally one afternoon, all that was taken away from me. I'm Ian, I'm 35 years old, I'm a doctor here in Melbourne, and I was diagnosed with motor neuron disease in September 2011.
A disease for which there is no cure. Ian's one of 1,500 Australians currently diagnosed with motor neuron disease.
It's been a really big journey since then. Plenty of low times, but also plenty of highs, and I guess one of the major highlights over the past sort of 2 years has been this. I love beer, and I thought beer would be a great way to raise awareness and raise money for motor neuron disease.
He's using the little time he has left to live to help find a cure.
I'm a co-owner of Cavalier Brewing. We make Cavalier Courage. Proceeds of this beer go towards motor neuron disease.
I sent him an email, and within 24 hours I got one back from Heath saying, yep, let's do this.
So the next step in the project was actually making the beer, and to make the beer we needed a fermenter.
They're not cheap, and to import and to manufacture, it costs around about $10,000.
Like so many projects with big ideas and no cash, these beer lovers look to generate the funds using one of the major crowdfunding sites, between Kickstarter, Indiegogo, or any of the newer sites occupying the space.
So, why are some crowdfunding campaigns better at getting results than others? And why are some crowdfunding platforms better at getting results than others?
The two biggest players are Indiegogo and Kickstarter. Indiegogo started in 2007, Kickstarter in 2009. Despite being the new kid on the block, Kickstarter has rapidly overtaken Indiegogo in terms of number of campaigns and total revenue generated. Indiegogo has raised only about $193 million, whereas Kickstarter has raised about $751 million. Indiegogo has started about 45,000 campaigns, Kickstarter about 110,000. All this means the success rate for each of these crowdfunding platforms is about 20% for Indiegogo and 44% for Kickstarter. But this measure of success doesn't really show the full picture.
There were a few reasons why we chose Indiegogo over Kickstarter at the time. The first and most important is that Kickstarter said no to us. They want some sort of tangible product that you're actually manufacturing or actually creating, and obviously we weren't doing that. We were trying to buy something.
In fact, the inflexible limitations on Kickstarter is seeing Indiegogo grow by 270%. Australia is now the 5th largest market for the site that now takes Australian dollars.
So from the beginning, we've been focused on creating an open platform. What I mean by open is that we don't decide who has the right to raise money and who doesn't. If we did decide, that would be going back to the same old system of finance that had driven finance to be so inefficient and unfair from the beginning, which is a system of gatekeepers.
Kickstarter is an all or nothing, and that sort of generates a little bit of panic amongst us, because if you don't actually reach your end goal, you get zero. Indiegogo was willing to accept these sorts of campaigns where it was more about the person, more about the cause. They would allow you to basically have some sort of drive like behind the project that was far-reaching.
And we're seeing now what's really interesting is causes and community type campaigns. There was a campaign by some concerned citizens who were concerned about a McDonald's being built across the street from their local kindergarten. And so they raised $30,000 to send a few folks from Australia over to Chicago to petition the headquarters in McDonald's and convince them not to build there. So that's a community coming together using the platform in the way it was built, which is to empower communities to fund what matters to them, whatever that is.
You do see some pretty strange campaigns on Indiegogo. What are some of the weirdest ones?
An example is the first ever crowdfunded baby on Indiegogo, which was a young couple that had actually been rejected from a different platform. And they went on Indiegogo right away, got their campaign up, and within a few weeks raised the $10,000 to have IVF, which was a treatment they couldn't afford.
I think one of the most amazing things was actually waking up and seeing all of the emails coming in, and then actually logging in and sitting there and going, not only had we hit the 10 grand, but we were now up to about $15,000, $16,000. It was amazing. So yeah, here's the VAT which the Indiegogo money actually paid for.
So what is the recipe for crowdfunding success?
Obviously people want to fund you. They don't want to fund your shoe or your beer or your beer VAT. They want to fund you. So number one, make it personal. You need a really good pitch, a really good story, and a really good video.
What I see is that finance will be in a lot better place than it is today. And I know a lot of people don't think like oh, finance, I don't feel bad for finance. It's this world of money, like who cares about
But
money?
it is broken. And
But
we
it
all
is
know,
broken.
We all know that, you know.
And we all know that, and it's broken because ideas are going unborn every day because of inefficient access to funding.